Hello, sports fans. Welcome to Super Sports Central. Today, we're going to be going over my Week 4 UFL predictions. So last week, I had a record of 4-0, and that brings my record on the season to 9-3. Kicking things off this week with the games we have on a Saturday, beginning with the Showboats at the Battlehawks. So these two teams are trending in opposite directions after Week 1. The Showboats, they have lost 2 games in a row after their Week 1 victory, and the Battlehawks have won 2 games in a row after their Week 1 loss. The Showboats are going to need to play a lot better in this game than they did last week when they got destroyed by the Stallions. But I think there is 2 key matchups that are really going to decide how this game goes. The first is the Battlehawks passing offense against the Showboats pass defense. Because the Battlehawks pass offense is one of the best in the UFL, throwing for 191 yards per game. Now, that stat isn't great, but their offense, specifically their pass offense, is a lot better than the numbers suggest. Quarterback AJ McCarron is arguably the best quarterback in the league, and he's gotten off to a great start, throwing for 616 yards, which is third in the league. Plus, he's thrown 5 touchdowns, which is second in the league. And he also hasn't thrown a pick yet this season. Now, in addition to great quarterback play, to what's already been a good passing offense, St. Louis is going to get an even better receiving core, as star wide receiver Ja'Cour Pearson is going to make his season debut this week after he suffered a knee injury in training camp, which kept him out the first 3 games. But he's going to make his season debut, and he led the XFL in receiving yards last season with the Sea Dragons. So he's going to make an already really good passing offense even better. And that is just a great matchup for the Battlehawks as they go up against the worst secondary in the UFL, as the Showboat secondary allows 243.3 passing yards a game, and they're also coming off a game where they were just torched through the air, allowing 334 passing yards. So the Showboats, they're going to need to be a lot better against the pass this week if they want to have any chance of getting the win. The second key matchup that I think will decide this game is the Showboats' offensive line against the Battlehawks' pass rush. So the Showboats' offensive line has been terrible so far this season, allowing 14 sacks, which is by far the most in the league. Plus, the offensive line has also struggled in the run game, as the Showboats average a league worst 2.7 yards a carry. And they face a Battlehawks defensive line that has some great players, such as the 2023 XFL Defensive Player of the Year, Pita Tamanapenu, as well as all XFL defensive tackle, Austin Feolu. Hopefully I said his name correctly. Now, both those players are out this week due to injury, so that at least gives Memphis a chance up front. But this is a game I could see going either way, but I think the Battlehawks should win this game. I think AJ McCarron and company on the Battlehawks offense will have a field day, and the Battlehawks will win their 3rd straight game, handing the Showboats their 3rd straight loss in the process, and the Battlehawks win this one by a score of 26-14. Moving on to the Stallions hosting the Defenders. So we will have a live watch party for this game that will start at about 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday, so I hope to see you guys there. But there is actually 2 games that are this Saturday at 7 Eastern Time. So if you guys do join the stream, obviously I hope to see you guys there, and be sure to subscribe, turn notifications so you don't miss it. But I'm going to be closely monitoring both games, but focusing on the Stallions and Defenders game. But my prediction for the game, the Stallions, they have been the best team in the league to start the season. They're the league's only undefeated team, and they're coming off their best game where they just destroyed the Showboats, winning 33-14. The Defenders, on the other hand, are a team with high preseason expectations, but they're very lucky to be 2-1 right now. The Stallions did make an interesting decision at the quarterback position for this week's game, because last week, Adrian Martinez started and played the entire game, and he was really good with 334 passing yards and 3 total touchdowns. But the Stallions have now listed Matt Corral as the team's starting quarterback, and that is a little confusing, especially after the game Martinez played last week. The only explanation I have for that is the Stallions want to continue to use a 2-quarterback system, but are doing it on a week-to-week basis as opposed to a drive-to-drive basis. But whoever the quarterback is for the Stallions, obviously we know it's Matt Corral, but whoever it would have been, they're going to have a great matchup against a terrible pass defense in the Defenders, as the Defenders are allowing 242 passing yards a game, which is 2nd worst in the league. So the Stallions offense should have a field day, similar to how the Battlehawks should perform very well against the Showboats. Another great matchup the Stallions have in their favor is their insane pass rush against the Defenders' offensive line that hasn't been great. The Stallions' pass rush is coming off an insane game where they total 8 sacks and now have 17 sacks on the season, including 6.5 from defensive tackle Carlos Davis. And the Defenders' offensive line was a question mark coming into the season and hasn't played that well so far, as quarterback Jordan Teamu has been sacked 6 times so far this season, which is fourth most in the league, but I have a feeling that total will increase quite a bit after this week's game. But I have the Stallions getting the win. I think their offense will be a very, very good against a poor defense. I think they will throw the ball successfully, run the ball successfully, and I think their defense will create a lot of pressure and make life very difficult for Jordan Teamu and the Defenders' offense. So I've got the Stallions winning this game very easily by a score of 28-13. Next game, we have the Panthers at the Brahmas. So the Brahmas are going to be without starting quarterback Chase Garbers, who was placed on the injury reserve with a wrist injury, and that makes this game really difficult for the Brahmas. Because Chase Garbers was playing like one of the top quarterbacks in the league before his injury, and the Brahmas now have to face one of the league's top defenses with their second string quarterback. The Brahmas' backup quarterback, or in this case starting quarterback, is Quinton Dormady, who was with the Orlando Guardians last season in the XFL, where he totaled 1,500 passing yards and 19 touchdowns in 7 games, 4 of them starts. So Dormady is a good player, but it's going to be a challenge as he makes his first start this season against the league's second best defense, at least scoring wise, allowing just 18.6 points a game. For the Panthers, they're playing their first road game of the season after their first 3 were played at home. But the Panthers, they played very well last week, especially offensively, scoring 34 points a game, which is the most points scored by any team. But this is a game that can definitely go either way. I'm expecting this to be a lower scoring game. Both teams are pretty good defensively. But I'm going to take the Panthers to get the win and improve to 3-1 on the season. I think their defense will be the difference. And their defense plus the combination of I'm not sure how Quinton Dormady will look or how the Brahmas offense will look with the new quarterback. So I'm going to take the Panthers to win this game in a close one, 19-16. And our final game is the only game we have on Sunday, the Renegades at the Roughnecks. So you look at this matchup and think it's probably not going to be a good game. You got the 2 winless teams in the league, both 0-3, and have greatly struggled to start the season. But I actually think this could be the most entertaining competitive game of the week. And also definitely the most high scoring game of the week. Because the Renegades offense has been pretty good, averaging 22.7 points a game. But their defense has been their weakness, allowing 27.7 points a game. For the Roughnecks, they have just struggled all around, with the worst scoring offense scoring just 16.7 points a game, and the second worst scoring defense allowing 25 points a game. Now, as bad as the Roughnecks offense has been, I definitely think they should take a step forward this week. For 2 reasons. One, I think their quarterback Reed Sinnott, who's technically their backup, filling in for the injured starter Jarrett Guantanamo, but I think he can build on a solid performance last week. Plus, the Roughnecks are getting starter running back Mark Thompson back from a knee sprain, and he's making his season debut, and that is going to greatly help the Roughnecks offense. And if you watched the Roughnecks last season, when they were known as the Gamblers in the USFL, Mark Thompson was the focal point of their offense, scoring 14 touchdowns in 8 games. So now, with the combination of Sinnott potentially taking a step forward in his second game as a starter, plus Mark Thompson returning and actually giving the Roughnecks a run game, I think we're going to see a pretty big increase in how good the offense looks for the Roughnecks, especially against a terrible Renegades defense. Now, for the Renegades offensively, they've been good, scoring at least 24 points in back-to-back games. So this is a game I could definitely see going either way. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game with both teams, with actually the 2 worst-scoring defenses in the league. I think both teams will be able to get a lot of points on the board. The Renegades have definitely been the better, more competitive team so far, but I think the return of Mark Thompson can give the Roughnecks offense a spark enough to win. But this is a game that could truly go either way, a coin flip. I think the Renegades have been the better team so far. I'm going to take them with the win, 27-24, but this is the game I am the least confident in, and it could definitely go either way. But those are my week 4 UFL predictions. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, turn notifications so you don't miss any other upcoming videos. Be sure to check out the community tab of my channel where you guys can vote on who you think will win this week's games. But thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, turn notifications. I do my best to post as often as possible, and I will see you in the next video.